Assassin's Creed Shadow. So I thought we could join each other in a small trip down memory lane. My own memory, to be honest. I don't think we'll be exploring yours, but you can explore yours and tell me your history with Assassin's Creed. I would be very interested to know where you started and why you either stuck around or why you left the franchise behind. My Assassin's Creed journey started with the very first Assassin's Creed, and I think that may have been 2007, I want to say. Could be wrong. That one featured Altair, and I'm pretty sure my brother had it on PlayStation 3 to begin with, and then he broke up with his girlfriend at the time, and she took the PlayStation back, and we lost access to Assassin's Creed. However, I then was able to save up my shekels and get Assassin's Creed from Game Station, which was like a gaming shop in the UK. They were very much like a Game are today, except they were, I always feel like Game was the more expensive option, whereas Game Station had the really cool stuff that you'd be looking for, and for cheaper. It's not around anymore. I think they merged with Game, and then Game is clinging on for dear life, unfortunately. Anyway, so I played through that one, but I didn't finish it originally. I enjoyed it, but I remember getting a little bit bored with the samey sort of things, which is crazy because it's called Assassin's Creed, and so assassinating people should have satiated my hunger, and my soul should have understood that you will spend the majority of the game assassinating targets. Fast forward however many years, when Assassin's Creed 2 released. I feel like that may have been 2009 or somewhere around there, because I'm pretty sure my mum bought it me for, well, mum and dad bought it me for Christmas. The same year I think I got Borderlands 1, and I was blown away at the fact that you could have 2 hidden blades. That really impressed me, and I think that's the one where you meet Leonardo da Vinci, and he builds a flying machine. That was cool. My one issue with that one, and I think all of the Ezio trilogy, as fantastic as they are, I feel like you can't just run around and not get spotted on rooftops. Like, someone's always being nosy, somebody's always looking, somebody's always got their eyes out. Yes, they're guards, but can they just chill? You know, just take a breather. Stop coming after me. I'm trying to get business done. I really enjoyed too, though, that one. The soundtrack of that one, more specifically, if you're an Assassin's Creed fan, understand that the whole series still has callbacks to this theme, the Ezio's family theme, by Jesper Kid, or Jesper Guide. I want to say it's Kid. A really, really talented composer. He actually composed the first Assassin's Creed, but I don't remember much about that soundtrack. Maybe it's good. I should really go back and have a listen. Then once 2 had came out, I think I finished that one. And Brotherhood was, I want to say, the following year. I remember it being really, really fast. And it was incredible because you could also ride a horse through the streets, which is another thing I forgot to mention about Assassin's Creed. I think 1, it might have been 2 actually, where it was the first game where I rode a horse on a game, and I couldn't believe it. Like, it sounds really stupid now, but back then it was incredible. I couldn't get enough of riding this horse around. Couldn't believe that you could ride a horse in a game. What is this madness? So then Brotherhood came out, and I really enjoyed that one because, and I'm also replaying that one now as well. That one had I really enjoyed the real estate aspect of it, which I believe it was in the second one as well. But the Brotherhood one, you could rescue people, normal civilians, and then you could hire them as assassins, and then you'd send them on missions, and they'd level up, and you'd get money for it, and I just think that's really cool. I can't remember how that one finishes, because I'm still playing through it again. And the third Ezio one, Revelations, I've never ever finished, so I don't know how Ezio's story ends, which I will finish it one day, because I do like the trailer for that one. Had a song by Woodkid, and he had Ezio fighting all of the, I assume they're Templars, but tons of dudes, and he's just scrapping, and you can see the ghost of Altair walking around, and it distracts him. So I will finish that one, but I can't really say much about that one because I've never finished, which is crazy because I'm pretty sure I've bought it on Xbox 360, Xbox One, Steam, Nintendo Switch, and PlayStation 4. I know I have an issue, but it's not an issue I need to resolve because I love just owning games. I love it. The next one was Assassin's Creed 3, which originally when I played, that's another one that I didn't really get into because I'd spent so many years with Ezio. It was really, really hard to try and enjoy a new character, and I didn't really find Connor very interesting to begin with, so I haven't given that one as much attention either. And yes, I have bought it several times again, just like the others. I always felt like the area that I got to in Assassin's Creed 3, there's a soap opera in the UK called Coronation Street. No, I don't watch it anymore. I used to watch it when I was a kid because my mum used to watch it, and I just felt like I was running around Coronation Street, so I didn't really relate to that one, but I will one day. I quite like the trees, when you're running through trees and stuff, and I think they added something in that course I haven't finished this one, but I've played a lot of it, which is Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Now, Black Flag was the pirate game that we've all been wanting for a long time. There really wasn't that much Assassin's Creed isms in terms of the story. I don't remember it really focusing much on the assassins apart from, and this isn't really a spoiler because it's at the start of the game, where your main character kills the assassin and then kind of pretends to be him. From what I remember of that game, you spend a lot of time with just other pirates like Blackbeard and stuff. I can't really remember how the assassin side of it kind of is kept relevant. But again, I haven't finished that. I've just got to a rather devastating story point. And that's the thing with me, I kind of play the games and get really in. But if it's a new game, I have about a week, maybe 2, before my brain is like normal. And then from that point onwards, unless I get really into the game again, I can only play it within hour bursts. And then I'll be like, oh, I want to play Robocop now, or I want to play Gears of War now, and do an hour of that, and an hour, it's just my brain. It's how it works. Once Black Flag had came out, they released Assassin's Creed Rogue. I feel like they released that at the same time, or either the next year. It was super, super close. I've got zero experience with that one. I know there's an Irishman in it, and I think you play as a Templar. I do own it again several times, because when it goes on sale I'll pick it up. But I have no idea what that game is about. If any of you like that game and recommend that I should play it and can give it an hour each day, let me know. Now around this time, I'm pretty sure they were like smaller games, side-scrolling games. There was a couple of them. One was in Russia, one was in China, and I feel like there was 2 others, and I can't remember those 2. Or maybe one other. I bought those but never touched them. Then we have, I want to say, was it Assassin's Creed Unity? Is that correct? I think I got Unity next, which is where they added co-op multiplayer. But these servers were really, really bad, and on launch the game was like super, 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 super buggy. So I wasn't able to get too far into that one, but I do plan on getting to it at some point. Following Unity, I believe it was Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which was the one that was set in London. Now, I don't usually like things being set in London, and I'm not from London, but I just think it's really dreary and dark and miserable. And when I play games, I like to be transported away from England, so to speak. Unless they do the nice English countryside, that's different. But what I played of Syndicate I really enjoyed, because at the same time I was quite into Sherlock. So I was very much kind of pretending that it was a Sherlock game. Where I got to in that game, I don't remember ever having a proper sword. You get like clubs and stuff, and that bothered me a little bit. But from what I have played, I enjoyed. I do want to get through that game because they released a Jack the Ripper DLC. I find that quite interesting, but I can't start DLC unless I finish the game. sometimes the game won't let you do that, but sometimes they do. And for me, I just can't start it unless I've finished the main game. Following that one, I want to say, was it Origins? Which was incredible. Definitely top 3 Assassin's Creed games. But then again, that's because I'd always wanted a Scorpion King proper game. There was one on the PS2 and it was not very good. And I love The Rock. I think he's fantastic. From when I was younger watching wrestling in the late 90s, early 2000s, all the way to now, I love the man, he's brilliant. So Assassin's Creed Origins, I kind of felt like it was the Scorpion King game that I never got. And Bayek was incredible. The voice actor, I think his name is Abubakar Salim or something like that. I may have butchered that. I believe he's English. He seems like a really cool dude. But the emotions that he brought to the game and to the character of Bayek were just phenomenal, man. Really, really cool. It's the first time I had connected with a main Assassin's Creed character like that since Ezio. Not even Edward Kenway from Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I didn't really connect with him because I thought he was a bit mean to his wife. I could be wrong, but I remember him being a bit of an arse. Origins also had some really cool DLC. The Secret of the Pharaoh, I believe the last one was called. And I am actually on the very last part of that DLC. I just didn't level up enough, and I'm getting my ass kicked by the last boss. So I will finish that one day and put it on the list. Next up we had Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which was Greece, I believe. Now this one is special because I didn't expect to like this one as much as I did, and I was playing this one whilst COVID happened. So I worked all the way through COVID because we have a small family business. If we couldn't shut down, we just couldn't. So I worked all the way through COVID, and I don't usually like going outside, but there's something about when it's sunny, and this is going to sound really old, but when it's sunny and you can sit in the garden and it's early morning, about 7-ish, the sun's up, the birds are singing, you sit there with a cup of tea and you just sit. I don't really go on my phone, I will just sit there and relax, and there's something really special about that. I just like to stop. We're doing a lot of stuff where you're always thinking about doing something. You're always, oh my god, I've got to get this done. Oh my god, somebody's texted me. Oh my god, this is happening in the world. And it's nice to take a moment to just stop and just absorb your surroundings. Now, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is a beautiful game, and it was so cool because the sun, this sounds crazy, but the sun in that game and the colours of the foliage and the trees and the water, everything just really popped. And I'd put the headphones on and play that, and I would simply just walk around and enjoy the sounds and the sights, and it really gave me a massive appreciation of Ubisoft's sound design, and I don't think people give them anywhere near as much credit as they deserve, because you can just walk through a forest or walk through the island and it's just beautiful. The birds, the wind, the people, just amazing. Gaming is so cool. Now, I did finish that one, but I haven't finished racing to finish that before Assassin's Creed Valhalla released. Then Assassin's Creed Valhalla came out, and I was pumped because I've not really played a Viking game. There was one by Sega back in 2009 or so, around there, which was okay. It wasn't the best, and I can play that still, but again, it wasn't really great. And Valhalla came out with the new consoles, so I was at the time a primary Xbox player, so I got it on Xbox, and I remember it looking just fantastic. You start off in the snowy sort of area, and I'd never played games at more frames than 30, and I'm pretty sure it was 60 at launch, and it looked so smooth and so fresh. And I also really liked A4. I went with male A4, and I just really enjoyed it. I think that game, though, suffered from being way too long. I enjoyed everything, but it could have been condensed because it got a little bit overwhelming at times, where you would spend so long doing something and you've done a tiny portion of the map. And I know it's down to your own discretion on what you achieve in the game and where you go and whether you do the extra stuff, but I wanted to do extra stuff, but the game had burnt me out, so I couldn't, even to the point where I've bought the DLCs and I just haven't touched them because the game kind of really frazzled me. Which brings us to Assassin's Creed Shadows, which brings us to Japan, I believe. Now, we've all been asking, anyone in the Assassin's Creed community knows we've been asking for Japan for a long time. And it's so cool that we are literally 1 week away from being able to play that game. Now, some of you may say, well, why don't you play Ghost of Tsushima? And I did, and I thought it was incredible. I thought the combat of that game is just as good as Batman Arkham combat, where every time you play, every single fight was just so enjoyable. My issue with Ghost was, and I get it for the story, was the Mongolians had occupied Tsushima, so there wouldn't be that much going on. But when you rode around that game, it just felt empty, really empty. And again, I understand why, but I really wanted massive towers to climb, and yes, there's lighthouses, but that's not it. Huge fortresses where it's all lit up at night and you can sneak in and have a massive scrap, or be sneaky beaky and climb your way out, and I just really wanted that, and unfortunately Ghost didn't have that. Doesn't mean that it's any less of a good game, because it was just phenomenal. It's my own personal thing that I was looking for. Kind of like, I think in the first season of Demon Slayer, Tanjiro goes to a village, and I can't explain it, but the way that those villages look are just really cool, and look like it'd be amazing to climb up and do funky stuff and flips and whatever. So I am so hyped for Shadows. I've seen all the discourse, I've seen all the people moaning about it online and all this other thing. And the only thing I can say to you is, if you're excited for it, be excited. Don't allow anybody else to change your opinion for you or make your opinion if the reviews come out and they're not great. But you're excited about the game, why don't you play the game? I think the gaming industry is in a mess, an absolute mess. And far too many people are listening to what other people think rather than making their own assumptions and doing their own legwork. Then one person will say this game is ass, and then they'll go, well, the game is ass. They won't look into it and go, well, that's his opinion. get it, games are super expensive now. Everything's just going up and up and up. So it's way more risk. But at the very least, you owe it to yourself. If you are a fan of anything and you want to see something and somebody goes, "Now that's ass," but you still want to see it, just do it, man. Do it. We're losing way too many things that are important to so many people. So many things are getting shut down, cancelled, closed, whatever. It's because people aren't willing to use their own brains and just go, you know what, he didn't like it, but maybe I will. I was excited for that, so I'm going to look into it. So that brings us to the end of this ramble, I suppose. I don't feel like I spoke too much about most games, so if this wasn't very good, I do apologise. I just thought it would be nice to share my excitement for Shadows, and I hope you are excited as well if you are an Assassin's Creed fan, and if you're not, then I hope whatever comes out for you in the near future is as exciting for you as Assassin's Creed is for us. Okay, my friends, thanks for all the love and the warmth that you gave me on my last video. I really appreciate it, and I know I don't pump out videos like everybody else, but I really am doing my best to be better this year. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.